I'm showing 305. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board members, I would like to beg your indulgence and modify the agenda to include a special presentation with Mayor Joe Schember and Mr. Jay Alberstadt. Sure.
Sorry that our backs.
So why don't we gather around?
Oh, okay.
We're amongst friends, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Mayor, please.
For everybody to come on. Okay. So this is in recognition of Attorney Jay Oberstadt Jr. for his service on the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie Board. Whereas, since 1955, the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie, what? That's not, you're saying you've been on this long. But since 1955, it's striven to renew, rebuild, and revitalize the City of Erie, from downtown to neighborhoods and neighborhood business districts. That's kind of the history of the Redevelopment Authority. Whereas the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie Board of Directors is comprised of 5 City of Erie residents appointed by the mayor who possesses various skill sets or expertise, including but not limited to redevelopment and revitalization, real estate law, and finance. Whereas Attorney Jay Oberstadt Jr. was appointed to the Race Board on August 13th, 2018, and remains serving until February 6, 2024. Board service is a tough volunteer role, and Attorney Oberstadt took on his role with dedication, reliability, and expertise. His ability to connect race with suggestions to better the City of Erie community has been essential. Now therefore I, Joseph V. Schember, Mayor of the City of Erie, do hereby recognize Attorney Jay Oberstadt Jr. for his service on the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie Board of Directors. Jay, thank you for your dedication and commitment to the City of Erie, both through the Race Board and many other community groups that you have served in as well. Thank you very much. One other thing I want to do before you sneak in is I'd like to give you one of my pens. These pens, every other time you extend the ink, they light up. It's got my name on there, and it says, "Let's not rest in 2024 until we bring thousands of new jobs and new people to Erie." So which color do you like?
I'll take the
Take
red.
the red? Okay, thanks.
Great. And I would also like to present on behalf of the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Erie a small token of our recognition of your work. So we have it's a bit of an eye test, but it's good.
It is difficult to read, but it is welcome, and as is the proclamation from the mayor, unnecessary but most welcome.
Please.
And it's been my honor and pleasure to serve on the authority board.
I was trying to find some anecdotes or some quip, how we met or something like that, and I just always known you, and
1955, so long.
Indeed.
Hard to remember. I was one.
Yes.
And you were a gleam in someone's eye.
In someone's eyes. But we want to thank you from our hearts. We appreciate your counsel, your wisdom primarily, and your thoughtful approach to community development, for which we will be forever grateful.
I'm always available if there's something you need that I could help with. Might be from a distance, but nevertheless available.
So we hope you stay for our meeting.
Sure.
I'm told we've got refreshments.
There are cookies after.
Oh, well.
So, we go big here.
All right. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
On the business.
Item B in our packets is the consent agenda. Is there an approval for the agenda as we just recently amended, along with the minutes from the May 13th meeting? Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Item number 2 is citizen comments. Are there any citizens to be heard? Any citizens to be heard? Hearing none, we'll close that section and on to our finance report. Ms. Decker?
Yes, thank you. So in your packet, you have the profit and loss, the balance sheet, and also the check detail list for the checks that were dispersed during the month of May. I wanted to touch on, we had received just under $144,000 in ARPA requisitions. One was for Healthy Homes for $103,000, and then another for ARPA Blight that was about $41,000. And then we had also received portions of payments for the new production funds that were board-approved shovel-ready projects from a few sessions back. We received $620,800 for that. The Healthy Homes, we received another $901,000, so that's now 2/3 of the total amount. And the Historic Preservation grant, we had received $561,000. So in the month of May, we had been prepaid essentially a total of $2,082,800.
I have one question.
Sure.
So account number 6110, it's noticed as business expenses for $863,000. It's a large number with a relatively vague, and I'm on page 2 of 5 of the statement of activity.
Okay.
So it's again account number 6110, business expenses at $863,162. Is that kind of a compilation of a bunch of small general ledgers that are underneath that?
So that would be probably an accumulation of all of the ARPA draws that have come out of that account and into the general fund for reimbursement. And because everything is all collected together under one accounting system and not separated out by funds,
I see.
it's in under the business expenses.
Okay. It's a large number with a vague label, so okay, thank you. And how is the transition into the new accounting software coming? Is you know I was going to ask.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We had a conversation with Baker Tilly this morning, actually, a team of them, that they are creating our chart of accounts and the new numbering system and how it can be further broken down for reporting purposes and pulling those figures by fund and department, and I think that's looking really good. They've been working with Blackbaud for us to try to make sure that it's going to give us the reports that we're looking for. And as far as I know, the audit was the last thing that they were waiting to wrap up, and they were putting historical data in and collecting that for this year. But previous to that, we were keeping everything in the QuickBooks as far as historical data, because it was going to be very time intensive for them to transfer all of that over.
About 2 weeks ago, we met and they kind of laid us out 3 choices as far as how we could proceed. And one was put all the historical data back, going back as far as we have in QuickBooks into Blackbaud. The next one was go back till I think 2022. The third, and one that would allow us to get back up into Blackbaud within the next 2 months, was to keep all of our historical data in QuickBooks and go back to January 1st, 2024, and basically input all of that data and get us up to current and go from there. We chose option 3. One, it'll save us a substantial amount of money in Baker Tilly expenses and allow us to get up and running and get the books as clear and concise as possible.
Totally agree.
Would you estimate the June or July statements to be in Blackbaud, or?
We're probably looking at August,
Okay.
maybe September at this point. They're not thinking they're going to be done until sometime in July.
Okay, I understand.
So the sooner we get the chart of accounts that we met on this morning solidified, the sooner we'll be able to start inputting all of that data.
All right, Ms. Decker, anything else for us?
No, that's all I have
Any
today.
questions for Ms. Decker? Hearing none, is there a motion to accept the financial statements as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, on to section D of our agenda, and this is, I think we start with the solicitor's report. Mr. Sundberg.
Good afternoon, Board. Great staff, Mr. Mayor, and Jay Alberton. We have updates that we've been provided with regard to the ongoing work that I've been doing with Aaron and his staff with regard to the number of properties. The first two will be resolved within 30 days. The Commonwealth Court finally, the light went off and has denied the final motion, and so we're waiting for that 30-day appeal period for reconsideration. I don't think that will be filed, so that we can then do the summary, and those properties will be disposed of appropriately by the Redevlopment Board. There are a number of properties that are set for boards of view. Those are ongoing. And what I really wanted to do as well is direct your attention to number 6, 816 East 22nd Street. That's Timothy Red. This is a success story. Rehabilitation has been completed. That
Wow.
removal of all designations were done, and set to close, and be all done with that property and return to the property owner. So the system and the process is working.
Absolutely.
People are working with us, and so that is a win. That is a win for us, and we think for the city as a whole as well. There are a number of properties where we have entered into rehabilitation agreements, and those are in process. We're working with it. It's as much of an educational process for the property owners to realize they've got to come down to City Hall, they've got to get the permits, they've got to have the right, they have to have the right licensed entities working for them. They do not want me doing electrical work or plumbing work. That is bad. But we are educating them about that process. So they are working with the appropriate entities here in the city of Erie to rehabilitate their homes and for the betterment of the city. You can, when you're reading through that, you'll see where we are with any number of those properties. And again, as is been reiterated, we're willing and able to work with parties to address those issues. We need to keep them on time frames and time limitations, and most importantly, schedules. And that's what we're trying to accomplish with all these properties. So if you'll see in my memorandum, I'll try to summarize what we're doing and how we're keeping, in essence, a number of people keep their feet to the fire and make sure that it's in a progressive fashion so that we are addressing their needs, but most importantly, the neighborhood as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, and thank you, and appreciate your concern over the neighborhood. Everybody should live in a neighborhood where they feel safe and comfortable, and doing our part helps that along. So, thank you. All right, Mr. Stippert, I believe you provide some comments.
Phone on. All right, so yeah, a couple comments. Last Tuesday and Wednesday, Jake and I went to Seven Springs for the Housing Alliance's PA Land Bank Network Summit and Rural Housing Summit. The PA Land Bank Network, Jake and I both agreed we probably could have filled a full day as opposed to the half day, but we had a lot of good dialogue with other land banks and redevelopment authorities across the state. I gave a presentation with the community relations manager from Westmoreland County on community engagement, and that went extremely well. We had a lot of comments and a lot of good discussion following that session in the networking time period. So overall, it was good. It was good to, spend some time and get to meet some other individuals from across the state and share ideas, so, and get some contacts. So that went well. I also included in your packet for your review is Erie Racial Justice Policy Initiative. It was provided to me last Friday. Erie Chamber invited authority directors, county officials, and city officials, and Mayor Schember was there to kind of dive into how we can be more inclusive in our bidding process and talk through some stuff. We spent, I think, 2.5 hours there last Friday afternoon. It was very good. I really look forward to continuing that conversation and work with them and how we can work better within our Erie community and provide these opportunities out. I know, from the authority's perspective, we know we need contractors, and how can we engage more of the individuals who are entry level and looking to try to grow themselves. So, we're going to work with, that group in the Erie Chamber, and I look forward to continuing that conversation.
And I know that the ECAT, through Daria Devlin, I think, is focusing on some training programs as well.
Yes, yeah, and we're trying to connect with ECAT on the land bank side with some of our rehabilitations potentially, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's my report.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Snippert? Hearing none, we'll move on to unfinished and new business. Housing program update.
All right, Holly?
Sorry, are we going too fast?
I
Slow
figured,
it down if you'd like.
yeah, that works for me. I figured that since I was in Ireland for the last board
I
meeting.
know, I was
that
watching you.
I thought I should probably make this an extra thorough report today, so I've got a lot to share. So for ARPA Healthy Homes, we have 135 approved projects in various stages of completion. That's including ones that have already been completed. 12 that have been denied for feasibility. So the important part, $2,293,930 have been spent or allocated total at this point for that program. 100 of the 135 projects are real expenditures. So that's 1.418 and some change of real expenditures. Average project cost has been about $14,189. We have 35 then that are being held at the 24,999 allocation until we get project costs on them. So as of the time of this report, we had $206,070 remaining of the Healthy Homes Fund.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well, it's good and bad. So it's good because we've been able to help 135, and we can at 24,999 we can accommodate 8 more units. Or at average project cost, we can get maybe 14. So where it gets dicey is I've got an additional 12 applications that are already ready, that are complete, ready to approve right now, today. So my plan right now is I'm going to put through 4 of those and then hold for a while and wait for some of these to complete, get some actual project costs in, and kind of get a better idea of how much real money we've got left before I start putting more through. I want to, I want to have a more accurate depiction of actual money spent.
Is there a chance for renewal of the grants? That are
For renewal?
Renewal or additional grants to continue the program or no?
Potentially. I know for my part, I'm working with the National Center for Healthy Housing on a mini grant from before. We have a meeting set up with Aaron and I with them in August after the conclusion of that project to talk about how we can continue our partnership with them and maybe talk about more funding opportunities. They know that it's my desire and Aaron's desire to keep this particular program funded because it's a great one. So hopefully I'll have a lot of information to report on that going forward.
Great, thanks.
But I've prepared a letter to be sent to all the remaining applicants and future applicants that we get for city funds. We have many hundred, unfortunately, that will not get funded through this round of funding. We determined we would need another 8.5 million
Oh, my.
to fund the applicants that we currently have. That's what the response to this was like.
Yeah, well, and I figured out, and Holly knows, calculated, so you look at that 135 units.
Yeah.
Think about it, and that's 4 average city blocks. that's how far $3 million goes. It's not very far when you look at the city of Erie. I
Right.
mean, around 4 city blocks is the amount of homes that we're able to assist with that. So, I mean, there's a great need. We know there's a substantial need in the community, so we'll continue to advocate for as much funding as we possibly can get for the city of Erie.
Yeah, I mean, we had certainly around 1,000 applicants total, and we get several more in every single day. So the ones that I can try to break off and get them into the lead program, we certainly do that, but most of them are just unfortunately going on hold. So I said I prepared a letter to send out to them pending my boss approving it, and also a statement for the website and a disclaimer page for the application.
Excuse me, that cost that you just mentioned, how much is that per home are we looking at?
The what? I'm sorry.
The cost.
It's $8 million.
I know she said 8 million, but per home.
Well, that would be at a max of
The max of
$24,999.
24. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to know.
We said our average project cost under Healthy Homes has been just over $14,000.
Okay.
I actually know there's a couple larger, higher ticket priced ones coming through that are going to boost that number up a little bit.
Okay.
But, yeah. So on to lead. So for the LHRD grant through HUD and our state lead funds, Aaron and I are in the middle of finalizing an amendment for the state lead grant, which would extend the period of performance to 2026. It was originally due to be all spent by the end of 24, which would have been rough. And it also added an additional $25,000 to that, which brings it to right around $500,000 total that we got from them. LHRD grant, we need 11 more units to close out the grant. I have a lead testing event Monday with the health department, so that should drive some new applicants, but I also have 8 additional lead poison kid families that I'm currently working with to get complete applications. Whole home repairs finally gaining some actual momentum. Now that the opening of Tier 2 municipalities has been opened. We've completed the first 2 projects under this program, have 7 more in progress, 3 more under contract. I've got 124 active applications
that's
that are
good.
viable applications. Unfortunately, 40 of those are Tier 3, so I can't do anything with those right now. My other hope for those 40 was that this Act 137 funding was going to be coming soon, and we still continue to await the release of those potential funds.
Maybe for the benefit of the other members, I understand the tiers. Maybe you can remind us the communities that are part of Tier 1, 2.
Well, Tier 3 is Mill Creek, Harbor Creek, and Fairview, and in the city, of course, which is, of course, Mill Creek, of the county municipalities, Mill Creek is where we get by far the bulk of our applications. I know of the 40 Tier 3 applicants, 22 of them are Mill Creek.
Okay.
11 are Harbor Creek, 7 are Fairview.
So I think the strategy was to try to focus on underserved communities, Edinburgh, Washington Township,
Right.
Union City, Union Township, and so, the smaller municipalities where folks would normally come to apply, and there was a...
Right. Unfortunately, though, none of those other county ones, other than lead, have any other funding available right now.
Okay.
So, again, until or if and when the Act 137 new release comes, we're kind of not sure about the status of that right now. But I've got several approved applications for the county sitting, waiting to approve soon. And we've got angry clients. You might hear from some of them. I feel like I have to say that because we have a few that have been calling everyone they can think of, and there's unfortunately not anything we can do for that right now because it's county funds, not ours.
Correct.
So just wanted to kind of put that out there, so in case you would be approached by anyone.
Okay. Well, it's fair to say, because the county presented some parameters, and we're just implementing the parameters that the county has set forth.
Right, and we have to keep reminding folks that, but there's been some conflicting information that's come from some sources, trying to put this diplomatically.
We understand.
And yeah, so, when constituents get conflicting information, they just get mad, and they usually get mad at us, unfortunately.
Because we're closer.
Yeah, so been putting out a few fires there, doing the best we can, just trying to keep them updated as best we can on the status of things and doing the best we can do. I think that's enough for me for one day.
Well, welcome back.
Thanks.
Any questions? Hearing none, I think we move on to blighted property update. Is that
Yes, sir. So, thank you. Jake, I unfortunately forgot when I put this agenda together last week that he is off this week. So, as far as blighted property update, as Gene said, we're working through a lot of the properties. Many of them are in various stages of the acquisition process. We've also, the middle of May, posted the next round of properties for condemnation with pre-condemnation notices in an effort to get entry to the properties, complete appraisals, and then move forward with the declaration of taking. So we're actively going after an additional 20-plus properties under the multiple either land bank or authority blight mitigation program. So those will be proceeding here into probably June and July, and we'll get those filed later on this summer. So that's all I have.
Great. Any questions for Mr. Stippert?
It's time for cookies.
Well, I would not be doing my job if I just pointed out we have an opening here at the authority. We're one person's absent because of workload. The other one, we have an opening. So just I know that Renee has been working on that. So just want to make sure we have a full complement. We've got a lot ahead of us. So we need every set of hands we can get to get our work done. So that was a little message to the mayor. So. So, no pressure, no pressure. Lots of pressure. Any other business for the good of the order? Hearing none. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And I second.
Second, yeah. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, everyone.